Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. It seems I have just about tamed my new camera. We are back to normal, and this is a wonderful watch to celebrate the occasion. The 2016 to present Omega Seamaster Professional Planet Ocean 600 meter stainless steel and 43.5 millimeters. Before 2016, the 43.5 case was exclusive to the GMTs, well, no longer. It's a perfect size for a modern, bold, professional-grade sports watch. And in stainless steel, this one does have substantial heft on the wrist, but it's not overwhelming, partly because the lug-to-lug dimension is a reasonable 48.7 millimeters. My 16 centimeter circumference wrist wears it well, though you can see at 43.5 and 16.2 millimeters thick, this is a large watch. It's going to stand out. It's not going to bow under a cuff, so be prepared for that. The spacing between the lugs is 21 millimeters, so it's in proportion to the size of the watch. You want a broad lug spacing so that the junction between strap or bracelet and lug looks proportional, and that's what we have here. This is a minority option. It's not something you often see spec'd on these watches. There are rubber straps, there are all manner of bracelets, but this combination of hybrid vulcanized rubber in black and alligator leather is exquisite. It feels like something you would find on an upscale Hublot piece, and it does feature a handsome contrasting stitch. You can see there's a little bit of bolstering at the center, and it flares and broadens as it approaches the lugs, so it joins as seamlessly to the lugs as it would if it were a bracelet. There's a gusset system designed to prevent the gouging of the strap, and I appreciate that greatly. You can see none of the leather comes in contact with the pin of the buckle. The buckle itself is a smart one, as it's a deploying clasp, so very secure. A combination of satin and polish, and then twin triggers, so you must depress both to open it up. It's not friction fit, it can't pop open. And any excess length tucks underneath the clasp body, so there's no need for minder loops. It's a very clean look. There's also no excess strap length visible once it's sized down. The case is familiar to those who know Omega sports watches, Speedmasters and Seamasters alike. You can see there's a little bit of a countersink and a shouldered guard to the crown, which is both polished and blasted. Handsome, lyre-style lugs with a flared bevel and satin finish longitudinally alongside the case. You can see the helium escape valve that's there for those who are saturation divers and who might worry about intrusion of helium into the case that will then exit as they ascend. We'll open the helium escape valve, and when the pressure internally is 2 to 3 bar greater than external, this valve internally will open once screwed open, and it will relieve the pressure so you don't blow out the seals or the crystal. Most folks are just going to use it as a conversation piece. The bezel is a good one. Ceramic capped, you can see the indices and numerals are liquid metal, which bonds with the ceramic and becomes one material. Very scratch resistant. The detent is good. The latest generation of Planet Ocean, 120 click bezel, very crisp, far sharper than in the past. Line up that luminescent pearl with the broad arrow style minute hand. You've got an impromptu 0 to 60 minute timer. I prefer this to a chronograph, easier to read, more intuitive, no downstream maintenance costs. The dial is upscale. This is a flagship dive model from Omega. So the hands, the Omega logo, and the indices themselves are white gold. And you'll appreciate the fact that the timepiece includes a ceramic dial. There you can see it. You can see zirconium oxide, the chemical symbol, right underneath the hands. It is glossy, lustrous. It will not tarnish, it will not oxidize. It has all of the advantages of traditional enamel with none of the disadvantages. It is not as fragile, it is not as expensive. It's a beautiful mirror finish that works perfectly with the white gold, and you can see the white gold tri-Arabic numerals. There is a faceted step to the date window, which I appreciate, given that that has to be etched into ceramic. Not easy to do. It pairs down the jump from the plane of the dial to the disc, so there's a little bit of a slope. It's progressive, it's handsome, it's luxurious. It is a master chronometer, now METAS certified. 8 different tests which apply to water resistance, winding efficiency, power reserve, 6 position tests of chronometric precision, as well as anti-magnetism. It was a test conceived by the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology. It's everything the COSC and the ISO 3159 is, but it's also beyond that as a fully cased up test of the watch. The watch has a couple of refinements that will allow you to set it precisely. You have this time zone function that allows you to move the hour hand independently of the rest of the indications, so you can jump time zones. You can even roll the date forward or backwards across the international date line. You pull the crown out, now you have the stop seconds, and I have to say these crowns are remarkably anchored. A lot of big butch sports watches watches feature crowns that feel like they're going to wobble and fall off. This is about as anchored and secure as I've ever felt. This watch just exudes a feeling of quality and premium specification. That continues on the case back. Let's get nice and close. Omega Caliber 8900. This was new in the Planet Ocean line for 2016. It's the Maytas chronometer rather than the old COSC, so free sprung with a full balance bridge for shock resistance, SI14 silicon hairspring for anti-magnetism, bidirectional winding, and you have twin mainspring barrels which help to prevent a drop off of amplitude after 24 hours. They also enable the watch to run for 60 hours consecutive, which is solidly more than the industry standard for an automatic. It is a 39 joule, 6-position adjusted chronometer, and impressively spec'd with coaxial escapement. You can just see the coaxial escapement, tri-level tangential contact just below my finger. That's where it lives. You can see the blades of the multi-level escapement. Conceived by George Daniels, industrialized and perfected by Omega, it is now very tough and very precise. You can see Omega, via the Swatch Group, extended, even making its own lubricants and shock protection. Spiral Cote de Genève in arabesque across the bridges with blackened screws, handsomely executed, and you get a display case back in a 600-meter water-resistant watch. Anything but standard equipment. You can see this one and make it yours on the watch box. Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean. You can see differential lume, so it's easy to track the bezel pearl and the minute hand. And loomed seconds. Every dive watch should have that.